playing an F chord, but I'm only playing the G, the C, and the E strings. And I'm stopping my thumb on the A string, thus bringing out that F note, making F sound like it's the melody. I use that all the time. That's a very valuable technique when you're doing these chord melody arrangements. So anyway, we do that 3 times, and then once you're doing that whistling melody 3 times, I end up on the first orchestral chord that you hear there in the strings, and that's this. We could call that a C sharp augmented, whole bunch of names for that, or C sharp augmented 7th actually. It is 0, 1, 1, 0. Real mysterious, real cool, modern kind of sounding chord. Then I do a B flat minor 6. That's 0, 1, 1, 1. And then I change one of the notes in that, making it a B flat minor 9, but don't worry about the theory and the chord names, just know that that's a beautiful sound. Then we do an augmented chord up here on the 4th fret. This is X 5 5 4. A lot of different names you could give that. We could for this we could call it F augmented if you like. And then we repeat that idea where we have a bar doing the minor chord. This is at the 5th fret, so that's a D minor chord. And I add the 9th, D minor 9. And then I end on a C7 chord, like they do in the orchestra. Right before we sing Singin' in the Rain, they do a little C7 chord. And the voicing I chose was 5, 7, 6, 7. Beautiful little C7, that's a really nice one. It's just like your G7, but moved up the neck, and then we have to compensate for the open string by putting our first finger back there at the 5th fret. So great voicing of C7 to know. Here's that whole chord part, the orchestral part. Then I like to give it a little tremolo, which I do with my right hand middle finger. Very rapid up and down movement like that. Almost like a balalaika in Russian music, that kind of tremolo sound. It's just a nice way to kind of introduce the song. And then the singing comes in, and that can be played as just the melody, as my student is going to do it, our recital, but you can also do that along with chords. In order to do that, though, what you have to do is, we're backing it up with an F chord. You do have to add your pinky to that F chord. So I have an F chord plus my pinky on the A string, 3rd fret, excuse me. That's the note C at the 3rd fret. So you play an open C, and then the octave higher than that, sing. Then an open A string. Then you do G at the 3rd, F at the 1st, and then your next chord, D minor. And on the D minor, do a partial roll so that you highlight the melody note D. So that means only strumming 2 strings to bring out that D like this. Repeat that. With a slightly different twist on the ending there. So what we did there was F on top of your F chord, G, scale note, another scale note of A, climbing up that scale, B flat, and then C. And the C note is accompanied by a D minor chord. So you have to do this slightly difficult fingering. You do a D minor chord with your pinky on the A string 3rd fret, known as a D minor 7 chord. So it's a D minor chord, but plus that 7. So some of those notes are unaccompanied. You don't have a chord behind it. You don't, in a chord melody arrangement, generally want to do that. You don't want to back every single note of the melody up with a chord, except for certain exceptions. Usually you have the chords be kind of sparse and let the melody come through. And then what a wonderful feeling that, or what a glorious feeling, that's the actual lyric. That's an open C, our F note here. Climb up the scale, and then back that up with a diminished chord. And this diminished chord is going to be, you can call it a whole bunch of things. I call it C diminished in this case, C diminished 7th. And that consists of 2, 3, 2, 3. And the true melody note, though, is A, so you might want to do that diminished chord. And then lift your pinky to accommodate the A, or you could play the A up here. It's already in the chord. Your first finger's holding it down, so you could go. That would allow you to keep the chord ringing, so you might prefer that, or you can leave the chord. Either one is going to be okay. I like them both, but I'll let you decide. And then I'm happy again. That part is that's a G minor 7 chord. That chord is 0, 2, 1, 1. And then we're just adding melody notes to that, and that's a vamp. We do that over and over. I do this special C7 chord for this song. It goes 3, 0, 0, and then X on the A string. I do use the A string on the last time of that to give us a C13 chord. But for the first 3 times, I just do a partial roll there. So there's a whole lot to this song, and I don't want to bore you by going over every little nook and cranny of this, but I will leave that to the tab. But you can feel free to ask questions if any of this went by too quickly or you want a little more detail. But that's basically my arrangement of Singin' in the Rain. All right, hope you enjoyed that, ukulele people. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to click the notify bell, and click on that link down below for Patreon, and that'll bring you right to this tab so you can learn this arrangement that I've done of Singin' in the Rain. All right, ukulele people, you take care. Bye-bye.